Here's your musical alphabet here. We learned this last week, and you got to memorize that. Make sure, if you haven't done that yet, that you've got that memorized. What do the words sharp and flat mean? A sharp is the same as B flat, two different names for the same note. Pretty soon I'll tell you when you call it one and when you call the other. For right now, it doesn't matter. Just when you think you've got that down, you have to memorize that there's two places in the musical alphabet where there are no sharps and flats between the notes. B and C and E and F. And there's your musical alphabet right there. Every single song in every single style of music that you've ever heard in your life is just a reshuffling of those 12 units right there. And not very many people understand that at all. But where are those notes on your guitar? How does your guitar actually work? And let's start talking about that now. You are probably aware that the 6 strings of your guitar have alphabetic letter designations, right? Some people don't know that, but it seems most people have come across that concept before. Your 6 strings of your guitar have alphabet letter names. Those strings go, and we're going to go from low to high, by the way, the thicker lower pitch note up to the high one. A lot of times, interestingly enough, the strings are labeled and numbered in the opposite direction. I will never understand that. If you think about your guitar from your high E string going down to your low string, you will never understand how it works, and that's the order that they're numbered in. Isn't that weird? We're going to start with our low string down here. We're going to work our way up to the high string. They go like this in the order of the alphabet names of your strings go, as many of you already know. E, A, D, G, B, and E. That's E, A, D, G, B, E. I'm going to write them on this chart here. The names of your strings go E, A, D, G, B, and E. Now, at some point during everyone's guitar playing career, somebody manages to convince them that they should memorize this set of alphabet letters. But nobody ever seems to get to the point where they actually understand what the heck that has to do with anything. My first question is this: do you think these letters here, E, A, D, G, B, E, have anything to do with these letters up here in the musical alphabet? Well, the answer is yes, they do. But a lot of people, when I ask them that question, they go, no, I don't think they do. And I go, well, why not? And they point out some very lucid things. They go, for example, the musical alphabet is in alphabetical order, and these aren't. E, A, D, G, B, E. That's not alphabetical order. And this up here has all this sharp and flat stuff going on, and I don't see any sharps and flats down here. So how could these alphabet letters have anything to do with these up here? And I go, well, actually they do. And the first thing you would want to understand is, see this? E, A, D, G, B, E? Those are in alphabetical order. And people go, what are you, nuts? E, A, D, G, B, E? That's not alphabetical order. I go, the only reason they don't appear to be in alphabetical order is there's other notes in between here that we're not seeing. These are just selected notes out of an alphabetic arrangement. So it kind of works like this: E, F, G, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, D, E. Not only that, all the sharps and flats are down there too. It's just that none of the open strings of the guitar happen to be tuned to sharp and flat notes. Now I'll show you what I mean. We know that music is a language that has an alphabet that has 12 units in it. When we look at a piano keyboard up here, it's very easy for us to see the linearity of music. We see that the keys of the piano certainly are in alphabetical order. You got this sharp and flat stuff that you're going to have to get used to, but no problem with the concept that the piano is in alphabetical order. A question that people ask me all the time is, does the guitar have the same kind of linearity that the piano does? And the answer is yes, it does, but it's not just quite so self-evident. You would have to have somebody show you the linearity of the guitar. Otherwise, you'll never really basically understand it. And so few people ever get this explained to them the right way. If what I suggested last week is that really in the end the keyboard does pretty much the same thing that the guitar does, then for example, let's listen to the open strings of the guitar, and I'll show you that I can play those exact same notes on the piano. Now, here's what the open strings of your guitar sound like, going from low to high. E, A, D, G, B, and E. E, A, D, G, B, E. I can play those exact same notes on the piano. Wouldn't you agree? Here they are. E, Didn't that sound exactly like when I played the strings of the guitar? Now, you'll notice I've actually labeled these keys up here. E, A, D, G, B, E. Remember, those actually are in alphabetical order. We know that the keyboard is in alphabetical order, so now we can see that here's E and F and G, and so there's A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, D, E. They're in alphabetical order too. It's just that there's certain notes in between there in the musical alphabet that the open strings are not tuned to. And an interesting thing is, look how many notes there are in between each of the open strings of the guitar. For example, here's E and A. How many notes are there in between E and A? There are 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 4 notes in between E and A. If we look down here at the musical alphabet, we can see that's true too. Here's E and here's A. How many notes are in between? F, F sharp, G flat, G, and G sharp, A flat. There are 4 notes in between E and A. Now look at the next two. Here's A and D. The next 2 strings of the guitar were A and D. Look how many notes are in between. 1, 2, 3, 4. There are 4 notes in between A and D in the musical alphabet. A sharp, B flat, B, C, C sharp, D flat. Now look at the next 2 strings of your guitar, D and G. How many notes are there in between D and G? 1, 2, 3, 4. It's beginning to look like when they created the guitar and they wanted you to be able to play all of these 12 notes here, they decided that they would tune the strings so that there would always be 4 notes in between each open string of the guitar. Why do you suppose they did that? Why did they tune the guitar so that there would always be 4 notes in between each open string? Any idea? None of my students ever get this when I ask them to. You know what the answer is? Why did they tune your guitar so that each 2 strings would have 4 notes in between? The answer is because the guitar, after all, was designed by and for human beings who have 4 fingers on their hands and an opposable thumb. The guitar is tuned the way it is because you have 4 fingers. I'll show you what I mean. Now, if you want to play the 12-note system on the guitar, which is what you want to do, that's all it's there for, there's a couple of different ways that you can do that. One way that you can play all 12 notes on the guitar is to start on any given string, on the open string down here at the bottom, and then simply begin with your fingers to work your way up the neck, fret by fret, like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, until I get to this fret up here. This is probably the only fret on the neck of your guitar that has 2 dots on it. You know these, you see these dots here? They're really just a visual aid to tell you, remind you which fret you're on. Some manufacturers include a second set of double dots at the 7th fret, but the overwhelming number of guitar manufacturers only have 1 fret where there's 2 dots on that fret. That is your 12th fret. If you count up the neck, you will find that those double dots are on your 12th fret.
Hi, I'm Scotty West, creator of the Absolutely Understand Guitar Video Home Study Program. Hey, thanks for all the positive feedback on our video guitar lessons. We're now uploading new lessons right from our DVD Home Study Program. Each lesson is 70 minutes long, but we've chopped them up into 10-minute chapters to fit on YouTube, so each lesson will have 7 chapters. It's critical that you watch these chapters in order. Make sure you start with Lesson 1, Chapter 1, then move to Lesson 1, Chapter 2, etc. When you've finished all the chapters for Lesson 1, then move on to Lesson 2. Hey, some of this stuff you might already know, and some of it's a little dry. You're going to wonder, do I really need to know this stuff? The answer is yes. Each one of these chapters contains little gems of information that nobody's told you yet, and these are the missing pieces that are preventing you from seeing the big picture. Don't cheat yourself out of these valuable realizations. Stick with the program. Also, consider our complete DVD home study program. Our high-resolution DVD video is much better than these fuzzy little YouTube clips, and you'll also get all our cool printed material, too. So good luck with your music and enjoy the lessons.